Should never look at yourself in a camera. It's actually quite scary, really, isn't it? All these, yeah. Anyway, it's Friday, and Friday is a day that all good Catholics eat fish, or they don't eat meat, or anyway, Friday, fish and chips. The weather outside is glorious. I am about to go out there to one of the great British institutions, a fish and chip shop. Do you want to come along with me? Not sure how well we'll do with the wind noise, but that's the view from outside my front door. Straight down, look at that glorious sea with the sun shining on it. But I'm not going that way. I'm going to the fish and chip shop, which is up that way. But what is it today? The 12th of August, Friday the 12th of August. And yeah, Friday, fish and chips, why not? A lot of the houses in this road were built 100 years ago, and they were built big, which means that a lot of them now have been split into multiple occupancies. You know, people can't afford this size of house in this part of the world, so some of them are still as built, but most of them have been split into multiple occupancy sort of accommodation. But there's some quite grand houses, isn't there, really? And some people make a big effort with their front gardens, some don't. Of course, when this road was largely built, people didn't have that many cars. Look at that, palm trees. See, I live in a tropical paradise. And on this side, a very, very English, British sort of flower, hollyhocks. Isn't that wonderful? And pink roses. There's a house and a half, isn't it, with a weather vane on the top. Oh, and sweet peas. Well, of course, you can't have an English garden without sweet peas. And that's a rather lovely fuchsia, don't you think? Oh, wonder who bought that one. Now, I'm rather struggling with the brightness of the sun on my screen on this particular camera, but can you all see on the end of that building an advert for Hamilton's original oatmeal stout? Stout being a sort of beer. Because that building for a lot of years has been what we call an off-licence, a place where you buy adult beverages for consummation off the premises. You buy your beer there and go home with it, rather than a pub, which of course has an on licence. Changed a bit over the years. It's now the Woodfield Express Mart, an off licence. Now, it is the time of day that most shops have now shut for the evening. Not so the traditional British chippy, which will stay open until, I don't know, 10 o'clock-ish tonight. There's an interesting car. I bet a few of you want me to cross the road and have another look at that. What I'm looking at is a 1977 Triumph Stag. Any of you lot own a Triumph of any sort? Of course, with the sun where it is, it's a bit difficult to film this rather lovely car. It was a car I always wanted when I was a young man. Not sure I want one now, but nonetheless a beautiful car. When I say 1977, what I'm working on is the number plate. The R at the end gives us a clue as to how old it is, and from memory, so I could be wrong, R is 1976 or 77, something like that. Now, of course, older buildings need permanent looking after, so there we see some scaffolding. Some of you may know that I wanted to look at some scaffolding for my engine shed, but of course this is modern standard. They've got toe boards on the scaffolding, they've got netting on it, they've got ladders properly secured. That's how it has to be to conform to modern standards. I want to look at how it was done in the 1950s. But if we swing round, we soon see that what we're looking at is a quality fish bar. Yeah, it's all right actually. The fish and chips in there isn't too bad. Not too bad. Right, I'm going to go and get my tea.